one thing I wanted to touch on, a fellow named James Stewart, not Jimmy Stewart, but James Stewart.
James Bubba Stewart,
James
the
Bubba Stewart.
fastest man on the planet is what he was called.
You saw him do something that you found remarkable.
Yep.
Crashed and then ended up coming in second place. You're like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
So then you had the opportunity and some clout, a little bit of juice to make a film about him.
That was the idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it went Paramount. Tom Cruise was involved.
That's right. Michael London, Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
It was David Gordon Green and Danny McBride and I wrote the script.
Incredible. And then, as many things do in this town, in this business, all that momentum that you had, all those big names, you know, all your own personal heat, you know, it falls apart.
Yes.
As they say.
It's one of the great sort of heartbreaks of my professional career is not getting to make that movie.
Why did it break your heart? Why do you?
Because it was a story I knew so well. I knew how to tell it, and I'd lined up all the right pieces, and I poured 4 years into it, and I wanted to make that film so bad.
Yeah.
More than any other film I've ever wanted to make, I wanted to make that story.
Yeah.
That was hard.
Because in doing, you know, research about you, and knowing you a little bit, this stuck out to me that you courageously and actively put yourself in a lot of situations where you ask someone to trust you, you know, and it really breaks your heart when they don't.
Yes.
And would you say that there's an element of that?
That was the case with this film, exactly.
Yeah.
This was a film about a family.
Yeah.
It was a father-son story,
Yeah.
which is another huge reason I wanted to tell it. And the family just didn't trust that someone that they didn't grow up with or know could tell their story, and I think it scared them. I think Hollywood scared them. I think.
Do you think you scared them?
You know, it's a tough one because I didn't realize how complicated the relationship was between James Stewart and his father. And I think his father was very afraid that he wouldn't look like a good father in our movie, which wasn't my intention, but there was no amount of convincing I could do, apparently, that could get them to come on board. And that was hard to have the best intentions and do all the right things and still not get to do.
Because that always is, and I imagine that's something you come up against all the time. And you know, I know you've spoken about, you know, having, you know, getting down with, you know, a fellow artist, and then agents, managers, publicists can sometimes cloud that intuitive connection that you have with an artist.
Yes.
Does it happen as well when an artist isn't as trusting as you are with them?
I've had only a few cases of that in my life. I've been pretty lucky that most of the people I've worked with, they've been very open and it's been a good relationship. But a few times, you're just not going to connect with everybody, and that is hard when things get complicated when they don't need to be.
Yeah.
If there's anything I've learned doing this show is it's always easier to book people you've worked with because you have a direct connection with them.
Right.
And this is a business where there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of mistrust. And people hide behind publicists or behind agents because they've been burned. And one thing about this show, I think if you look at the history of this show, our goal is not to out somebody or to prove a point. It's to let the person be who they actually are, which rarely happens
exactly
in this medium. And I think the problem with this business in general is that people just get too excited about the potential rewards from working with someone famous, and it clouds their vision and judgment, and that famous person ends up getting treated like a commodity. And there's such a better relationship if you just treat everyone the same and like a human being. You know, because it feels terrible when you're not trusted, and it feels terrible when you feel like others can't be trusted, you know?
No, absolutely. No, but I mean, I think it's going on in you know, in all the dualities and tribalism that exists, and it's always been there, you know, male, female, red, blue, left, right, you know. But as a photographer, or even when we worked together on Mumford & Sons, you know, when we had that group of 4 guys,
you and I did a music video for Mumford & Sons.
But that came together because it was all us calling people on their cell phones and
you know, that's a great
trust.
point. That's a great point, because when we did that, it was you, Jason Bateman, Ed Helms, and Will Forte impersonating Mumford & Sons,
Right.
and it was a music video. And it came together so quick because of our relationship.
Yep.
And you trusted me enough
Yep.
to call Jason Bateman, who I'd never met, and said, trust this guy, or
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
whatever it was. And that's the environment I want to work in.
Right? That's the cul-de-sac. That's the neighborhood feel.
That's right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
where I want to be, is to be trusted, to feel like a peer, to do your best creative work, and surround yourself with people who trust your vision.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
they open themselves up to you. Like that's the best
It's the best.
form of this business. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you like what you just saw, then why not subscribe? Click right here for lots more off camera. And if you want to see the hour-long version of these conversations, I'm going to give you the secret link. Here it is, offcamera.com. Check it out.